In this video, I'm going to be trying to make my own Labubu. If you don't know what a Labubu is, let me educate you. It's basically the Stanley craze all over again, except it's these cute things that people are fighting over. I really want to like Labubus, but there's just something off about them. So not only will I be trying to make one, I'll be attempting to make them a little bit cuter. So come along with me on this chaotic journey. I usually don't plan out my projects at all, but since I'm trying to redesign them, I'm going to start out by sketching everything and trying to think of how I'm going to make this cuter. I couldn't tell if it was the mouth or the eyes that are so unsettling to me, so I tried making the mouth smaller and adjusting the eyes a little. The sketch looks really ugly, but it definitely gives me an idea of what I'm gonna do. I was originally planning on making my Labubu a solid color, but out of all 3 stores I went to, this was the only fluffy fabric I could find. But it works out well because it's really cute. So now that we have the fabric, I went back and adjusted my design a little. I was looking at some other videos of DIY Labubus to try and get a good method for making the face, and I came across this video by My Froggy Stuff. She used hot glue, so credit goes to her for that idea. I went back and sketched out a pattern and printed that as a guide. And here's my crusty glue mat to go along with my equally crusty glue gun. I started working on the face, and little did I know that this was going to take me 7 tries to get right. 5 wasted glue sticks later, I finally worked out a good method, pouring out a bunch of glue, flattening it with the glue mat, and trimming it to the size I wanted. I wasn't sure how to get the indent of the mouth because I was not about to risk using my glue gun to do it after I spent 3 hours trying to make the face. So I used a pencil to try and engrave it, and it actually worked pretty well. I used the glue directly on the paper to make the rest of the facial features since they were so small. Then I glued all the parts to the face just to find out that the texture of the glue mat would not let me glue anything onto it, so I used this fancy glue instead. At this point, she actually looks really cute, but it all goes downhill from here. I got bored of working on the face and moved on to the body. I didn't use any sort of pattern for this, so I sort of just guessed and started sewing. This has been a really weird process to try and replicate something without actually having the things, so I've had to guess on the proportions of everything. The body ended up being really big since I'm guessing on everything, but we'll fix that later. When I make plushies, I usually like to make them posable. I'm not actually sure if Labubus are posable or not, but like I said, I'm just guessing. I normally use wire for this, but all I could find was pipe cleaners. I finished stuffing everything, but I ended up taking all of that out later on. Going back to the face, I sealed everything in with Mod Podge, and I added the teeth with a pin off camera because of how small they were. At this point, I realized maybe I shouldn't have made the mouth this small, but it's too late now. I mixed a perfect color for the skin, but my camera keeps making it look orange on and off throughout the video. This took so long. So after like 3 days, I finally started on the eyes and teeth. At this point, I completely disregarded my original design and kind of just went crazy decorating this thing with different colors. I thought it was interesting how some Labubus had one tooth a different color, so that's what I tried to do here. Just as I was almost done, I realized we had a problem. This Labubu is going to have a huge forehead. I made the very risky decision of trimming it down. If I mess this up, that would ruin days of work. Thankfully, the surgery went well and the face is a much better size now. And here is the point where I completely ruined everything. I tried building up the eyebrow things with layers of Mod Podge, and it came out horrible. Boobos don't even really have eyebrows, do they? Anyway, I realized this was going to be way bigger than a normal Labubu, so I unstuffed it, re-sewed it, and restuffed it. It's still going to be a little bigger, but I'm not intending on making it a keychain, so I think it'll be fine. I used the same process that I used to make the face to make the other body parts, but I will spare you from me narrating every detail of the 3 days that took me to make all of these. I thought it was unique how some Labubus had painted toenails, so I wanted to try doing that. After all of this, I was so excited to put everything together, but then I realized I forgot about those inner ear thingies, so I had to do the whole process again to make those. So after about a week, I'm finally ready to put everything together. I secured the head in place with hot glue and then finished sewing around it. And now for the reveal. Everything came out beautiful, except for the face. Look at those eyebrows! This is not a Labubu, nor a Lafufu. This is a Ladudu. If I actually wanted to replicate a real Labubu face, I probably could have, but I ruined it by trying to make it cuter. Putting my hatred for the face aside, the rest actually came out pretty good. Thank you to those of you who endured this chaos. Please leave a like for all the effort I put into this, check out my posts, and consider subscribing because I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer.